Okay.
Is it time for a magic show?
Where should I go? Oh, here. Oh, right. I was still.
Step on up!
Was after the cutscene.
No, wait! Just a second! Navia?
You're awake. Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive.
It looks like you're all...
Did all this happen?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. You were just about... I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second. But they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention...
Wait! Did you say...
Perhaps those two...
I always...
Please come with...
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all...
Why do you look so stiff? Oh, Paimon knows.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't you just...
I suppose so. Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days. Her work in the Fortress of Meropide has not been too much for her, has it?
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there. She's an amazing head nurse.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time.
Oh, and the...
Thank you.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. So, never... this isn't going anywhere. Let's...
Yes, in fact. Amid my
Yeah,
Okay. Let's continue.
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
all right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Let the mighty be humbled! Settle down! Justice is blindsided!
Okay, he doesn't drop anything. Let's continue. As I remember, I'm supposed to go up here.
Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step!
The tide's beckoning.
Okay, I guess there's gonna be another falling area. Let me up, please.
It seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
Huh? Huh? Okay.
Don't get it, Uruguay!
Silence!
Let the magic begin! Dare to mess with me? Have fun with this gift! Too late for regret!
Bow your head. Let the mighty be humbled.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Be sanctified.
Stop. Chill.
An oversight on my part.
Let me head you.
Silence!
What does this do? It opens up. It's a lift. Supposed to go on that thing. Let me up. Oh, okay. Hello. What is this thing? What even is that? It's the Lucifer Tower. Where am I right now? What's around here? This looks like a boss area.
Looks like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
Are you sure?
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
What's on the wall? I don't see anything on the wall. Oh, wait. What's this?
Stone slates. It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
And the surrounding walls also show signs.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
It's a
It
prophecy.
feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does...
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed, the slate's contents correspond to it. Take the second slate, for example.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing the same. She's facing this... what is this? Some kind of island in the sky?
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
Lore. Bro, what are you doing? What did you just do?
More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your duties.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking at these slates.
They're fine for me.
This says that it's the history of the future, right? That means the prophecy's sure to come true.
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird when you look at them together.
What Why are you both saying
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
What?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the records. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? And if not, why would she be in such a posture? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy? Does that mean that someone, or some people, once saw these slates?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Can we
Yeah,
take the slates
we
with
better
us?
get somewhere safe for now.
Really, bro. Can't we just like pick this up? Can we just clear this up like archaeologists? Okay. Here. This place has a bad vibe. Where's the chest?
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's some things you just need to be there for yourself.
You still have energy?
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then. Thanks for keeping me company all this time.
You're welcome.
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates.
I don't think she will.
I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Are you really gonna...
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily, which makes it all the more my duty to ensure that she understands the present situation.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then. You're probably the best person to talk to her anyway.
I will be carefully
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you as ever. So please don't think you're an imposition. All right. I'll be on my way then.
Welcome back. We've got...
Yay! And there's good food! Ivan's already starting to forget.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Mona?
Huh?
It's you two.
Mona, what are you doing here?
Mona?
Seriously, nobody just uses a scry glass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here.
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I
Why are you
bumped into
taking a stroll
you.
down here?
Quite. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a Mondstatter surname?
Yeah.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist's pupil was to change that name. There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan. Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames, it generally just means great.
Wow! Imagine.
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well. Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great or something?
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old
calming.
hag, hers is, in plain speech, the thrice-as-great Scholar of the Stars. Just take it as a title specific to astrology.
Thrice as great?
I don't know.
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same.
That sounds terrible. But anyway, you're not fun.
Well, I was born.
Oh, that's a...
There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean.
What do you mean, the water?
That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to... The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think anyone expected Fontaine to be in this much trouble.
What do
hello,
you make of
it's
that
Snoopy.
prophecy, Mona? Just tell us what you think as an astrologist.
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist. And that this prophecy... I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful.
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all, but does such a person really exist?
Hello, it's Snoopy.
Of course. The old hag could do it. And I bet there are others amongst those Hexenzirkel colleagues of hers who could do something... Huh? Are you sure?
Thanks, Mona. You're a...
Oh, well...
That's the greatest...
Indeed, and...
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now. If I receive any news, I'll be sure to come find you two again.
Thank you, Mona. Now you're just gonna leave.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks. Right, but we were able to recruit Mona's help, didn't we? Our Fontanian
Why are
friends will
random
thank
people
us
from
someday.
past quests coming up here for... Okay.
Good morning. To be honest, I'm still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, Trav.
Alright, we're supposed to go to the right. Nah. How long even is this quest? So like an hour long? 2 hours long? Novelette. Hello. Rosie.
You're here! Finally!
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neurvalette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute.
So
Please go see for yourself.
Farina is actually not the real artist. She has to do as what? Yeah, I know that. I got spoiled already, stupid. I already got spoiled long ago. How are we gonna find that out, though?
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
Oh my god.
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously?
Huh?
You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophet...
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing?
Creators are pregnant for like your human self.
I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is... You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
So you've been watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type. Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know I'm actually working to take care of it. There's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudix, but you're still my subordinate. You should be following my lead. Just trust in me. You're Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not. It'll all turn out fine. That's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
And she runs away. Did you just ignore my existence? Okay. By the way, Pixels, it's a live stream.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the
For
door?
the knave or someone else?
Wonder
before
what's up with her.
I'm
She was smiling.
I'm not saving for.
She didn't seem in the mood to care if we were listening in or not.
I'm saving for Farina. I'm saving for Farina. I don't know, or maybe like something else in the future. But I did one thing. I want to know what's in the new area though. And also there's something about Natlan lore that I saw too. So like, okay.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the basis for understanding, so why did she keep refusing to engage? Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. I fear that she will not reveal anything unless absolutely forced to. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass.
Version 5.0 live stream will out after 4.6, 4.7, then 4.8. I want to know what's in the Natlan. We have known
This may
nothing
be
about
cruel
it
to
for so
her,
long.
but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god possesses is too precious, and so we must take a chance on this. But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Oh. Yeah, we're going to Navia.
Well, that's everyone, huh?
Okay.
Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Where are we
Corsair was
hiding?
just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what family should do.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care
We
for a
should start
cup?
watching the live stream for each version. Yeah, I will.
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Let him be an introvert.
Then, how about you, good sir?
No, but let's hear
I
it.
fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
Wait,
That was a
Chlorine
little
is here
long-winded,
too?
don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
What are the traps?
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really.
You be the
One that I
father
just
of
learned from
others.
Chlorand and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
What is this, Chlorine?
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
What?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, Oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
What have you hunted? What have you hunted, Adi?
I have hunted. I have hunted zombies and
Minecraft does not count, Adi. Minecraft does not count.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Marechaussee. Okay, that was
Though that was their
Marechaussee.
name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, What would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the—
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you even performed some magic for the bawling children.
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods, like placing bait in the water and waiting for the fish to come within reach.
Why is he?
That's the kind of method I would
Very
count on.
introverted. He's shy. Let him be.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person who would catch loads of fish.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockwork squirrels, mice, and such. When placed in the forest, they can attract others of their kind. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did.
Use a gun.
And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough.
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any related experience.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of any such trick. But I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey. A more gentle trap would be ideal.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of implement we need. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for prey that must be captured and safely contained.
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So, are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
I remember Fred said
It
that the
kinda
knave
works,
doesn't
but
like children cry,
maybe
so he
it's still
doesn't
not
like
the
to
best
cry.
metaphor.
What?
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god. Being.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
What you need is simply the secret. Being attended to. Must be done to prevent fontaine. We're told in the prophecy, there is neither hunter nor prey, but there must be a trap. That is what you will need.
What?
What the?
You hug this
Adi! So, right down here. Okay. Let me in.
It's been a tough few days, hasn't it? So much. Paimon didn't think that. Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. It's hard to say. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon did. Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining. What a strange conclusion. But also, and yet even you feel confused. As such, consider me a passerby. Just accepting a commission from my...
Who are you?
Precisely. Call me N, a mage who wanders the world. At least, the prophecy.
What?
People call such things fate, and it is written in the stars.
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
Okay, later. I'll show you. I'm not really...
What is she talking about? It all sounds really
I believe that you understand ultimately.
The voice.
You want to see my newbie build? It's stupid. Okay.
Hey, it's you!
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively band.
Mona!
Fine, just not all. Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume you've heard. I'm in full.
That's right!
Ah, yes. About what? Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. Pretty bold if you ask Paimon. Most people would believe the gods to be all-knowing, right?
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she...
Whoa.
Their abilities are...
Well, it's not like...
Yes, she was. Perhaps it is some... Traveler.
Oh, we're...
I see. I guess you could consider me someone who has all... But even so, perhaps that's what N was trying to tell... I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but...
Huh. You do have a point.
Why does Lily look so serious?
There I go. It was worth trying to... I suppose.
Okay, goodbye. Just trying to...
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. But also kind of sad. Hey, Traveler. Okay. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Just get up here. Okay, so, I don't really know how to... I didn't really do anything much. Because I don't have any... I don't have any good weapons or something. It's just... It's... I can't really explain. I don't really have any... I just took some of the, you know, I just used what I have, because I don't have any much, and I didn't do this yet, because I'm still trying to get the things, and, we're just supposed to walk here.
Huh? Our name? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, had my recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend so while the fortress is journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and we never even noticed her!
That's it. Wait. That set is actually the best one for newbie. You just need the 4-piece set. Yeah, I searched it up.
She hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us as the subject matter instead? Ugh, seriously?
slice of cake, please.
Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Neuvillette was right. You really can eat.
Wait, did he really say?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
I have a question though. Can you even reach the counter?
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, even if there'd be no more cake tomorrow, that wouldn't keep me from having some today. No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry...
Huh.
Did you just... What's this off you? Did you just, spat out a literal... A literal... What is it called again? Forgot.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here.
Thank you.
I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You 2 try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? That...
I like your voice. You have a nice voice.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious.
Yay, cake.
It's more delicious than last. Sure would be nice if we could always eat
Okay, let's leave. How long is this gonna take? Are we just gonna keep walking around?
Oh, we're near the Seabird office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Charlotte.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve. You just used...
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in It's all right, though.
Really? Oh, Paimon knows.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden?
A friend of ours met you a while back, and when she mentioned it...
Ah, so you know Miss Mona as well. She's a... So she mentioned me?
She said that you're a real daredevil of a journalist.
Nice. In which case?
Huh?
Oh, of course it doesn't.
Yeah.
Why not?
We're just gonna
Oh, so that's a
talking
yes?
before the end
Oh,
game.
splendid! Whew, so much...
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example...
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to... From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal rather than worry over such an end. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping it. Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully finish an exclusive... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write... I'm not a dreamer, but anyway...
That's so not... Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we?
Why are we gonna take a look at the sea? Why are we taking a look at the sea, Paimon?
The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking... If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go and what would we do?
Why are you letting us have an existential crisis?
No, Paimon should ask, if you could choose, what would you like to do?
Stop.
We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. We didn't have to either, with us always being on the road and whatnot. You mean... Huh.
Then what? When are we gonna get to the dramatic stuff?
Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillet sent me to look for you two before. I heard that afterward you went to the Fortress of Mirapede.
Isadora.
Not at all. I'm well aware that you're friends of his. Actually, I'm here... Yes, inside the Opera House. The Maréchaussée...
A riot?
Well, that said, I don't... Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House, and while she was resting during an loudly accusing her of doing nothing about the prophecy crisis. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow, and protests against the Hydro Archon started to break out.
So people have started to put the blame on Farina. Guess they finally found an outlet for the pressure they've been under due to the prophecy.
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is customary. But the moment people feel threatened, gods are also the first to be blamed.
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control and that further argument was pointless, she claimed that she'd gotten tired of this and left in a hurry. The Maréchaussée Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone. Only when things had stabilized did we realize that she had gone missing.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Maréchaussée has dispatched many people to search for her, but we don't have any leads yet. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. She is a god after all. Even if she were to fall into the hands of rioters, what could ordinary people do to her? Good. Monsieur...
Don't worry, this is...
Is that...
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know, and as for Nervillet, it would be hard for her to ignore. Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling.
He just left us to deal with the problem ourselves. Like, I know what he was doing, but that was not nice.
Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer. In that case,
Well, it was different in Liyue though, because people thought he was dead. And they had nothing to do, so...
This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? Let's try to find her as soon as possible.
I don't think Farina's here. There's no way she's here. Is she here? Oh, she is here.
That's Farina, right over there.
Should I just give up? This is all meaningless. What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out. I'm sorry, but what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless... Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina. It's just that... Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you?
What do you... Who did that uncivilized... They even dare to tout the... Oh, and I'm sure Nervillet... Of course not!
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are...
Oof.
Quick, we have to catch up with...
After the archon. Farina. It's just a video of us running. How long is this?
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to
What?
Hurry, they're almost...
Fine. I suppose haste is...
Farina? Farina?
I merely gave it... You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What's happening?
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in Poisson, didn't it?
It can't be. It's happening again.
Time for the trap, aka the magic box from maybe... What do you mean by that?
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that.
Yeah.
What do you
the
mean,
people of Poisson,
the trap, aka magic box
already...
from maybe Linny? What do you mean by that? What's gonna happen? Something's gonna happen? Wait, what's gonna happen?
It's true. I've tried, but all my effort, we cannot make an enemy of the divine. Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free. Indeed, I've thought about giving up so much. Fate is really, but just now. It all, as long as the final moment has, don't worry. I will keep hope alive. Well, that's enough for now. Don't take any...
Come on!
Cher, that's impossible. It was fated right from the start that... A witness. And if to that...
Adi? Something's gonna happen. Wait a minute. What?
What?
What just happened? How did we went from there to here? Wait, Linny? What just happened? What? What? Is this part of, was that the trap?
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
What? So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Focalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd?
May I interpret these words as your refusal to stand trial? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade?
Farina.
I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Oh.
Paimon can't believe it.
What the heck is going on?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what?
It would seem seem that there has been a misunderstanding.
Looking for excuses again!
I raised my hands I'm sorry. You are not. But now, I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning of justice! This time, I will protect you.
What do you mean by that?
Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Woohoo! Bro, why are you happening?
Now we're making history.
What is going on?
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes?
She's secretly depressed. Just let her be.
Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
Of course she is.
All right, then. Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
She carried a vision in that time, so she can't defend herself. Here we go.
Yo! Also, please allow me to ask just how much work.
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to incite insurrection against you.
Yo!
The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself. So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean the ones who scoured the settlement for me were also from the Spina?
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance in all of Fontainian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epicles,
So did you do a tunnel thing again?
the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Aranias. Its cargo, of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome?
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support. The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of labor in
I like
Mora
this
to pull
art.
this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from the transportation of the whole house?
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's part. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight. Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch.
I love this art.
And,
Yes, that is correct.
well, Clorand, As for you, traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once we—
Oh?
Is that so? It's fine. It matters not. The stage is already set, so there's no reason to disappoint the audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Let's go!
Madam Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along. This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial. According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
Reminds me of the planet's mirror. Yeah, but instead of taking out the Archon, we're instead of saving the Archon out, we're trapping the Archon.
Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey, Charlotte!
I wonder if we're gonna have another plan in Natalan when we get there.
Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that... Wait, then that means this doc... So in other words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence. Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the I didn't. This is the first time Monsieur Nervillet had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't figure it out. A Fatui Harbor. According to Pioneer, the words of someone as extraordinary as a witch.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Yo.
Oh, come, just fast forward. Of course. It is only now.
That's true. But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon. Instead, I would like to charge...
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Oh, yeah, here it comes. Hey.
Charge accepted. Lady Farina. Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. How can I be guilty? There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine,
How long is
could
that
be
title,
anything
bro?
other than your true Archon.
That's the longest title I've ever heard.
Yeah, even though Lady Farina can be wrapped...
Yeah,
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory. See? Even if you wish to
An argument with near impossible.
Well, and if I was not...
Oh, wait, yeah, this one.
That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't...
Oh, this one.
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
A curse. I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might... But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your
Nervillet sensed it too, huh?
Lady Farina. Well, it is...
Okay, there we go. Oh, that's
Well,
nice.
don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being?
Okay. Oh my gosh, there's 4 people here. Hello guys, Stoopy, Alex, you. Okay, that's my sister, don't mind her. We were just doing something.
Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods. For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine. One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the indemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
What? I'm still doing it. Still think that you're... No, wait, I can use my earphones.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof? Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no
Of course,
need
I know.
to
Your name-
provide an explanation.
Sorry. Wait. Maybe you shouldn't be showing that information online, Alex. But no.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order.
What? That's not giving info. Read it properly. I am 11 years old. No, I am not. It says I am not. I am 11. Oh. What are you being? Can
While
you
the
read?
court
Oh my
is in
gosh.
session,
I'm
the
sorry.
principles
I
of
read
justice
it wrong.
and the law must come before all
Sorry.
else. While you are an archon,
Wait.
you will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina.
That's okay,
I've merely
just
reiterated
don't do
the
that
rules of
ever
the
again.
court.
It's not safe
Rules
for
that all...
At least there's not that much people
You
in the chat.
neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon.
I'm clapping for Paimon
Now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating independently ever since it was first created. You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses. Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
My power as an archon. There are many ordinary citizens in the
Why is everyone
audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable
watching the
power
trial.
of an archon?
You know, I'm so serious. Because it's a trial. You're being...
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
And Farina, can't you just drop a little water? Make a water bottle or something. I don't know.
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Paimon's actually being useful for once.
Indemnitium!
I am clapping for
It's all because of
doing
Indemnitium!
great.
All archons archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into indemnitium. Thus did I give up all of my divine power to—
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
I need to check the Archon quest because I'm not really sure about things because I didn't really play the Archon quest itself. Yay! We're
Seems
winning!
like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me?
The way you laugh is very weird, Farina.
You've got to believe me.
She started to get stressed. I can
She's
hear it in her
shaking.
voice.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
I love this quest.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough.
She's face bombing.
That's enough.
Face bomb.
Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is? If you have no evidence of another
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like
Wait, she is human, and if she's only human... Wait, let me think. What's this? No, wait, these are things that only I know. Turns out that fontaine is going to be dissolved by water from the breeze. Over the years, Rashid kidnapped and dissolved many young girls for his career to try and find a way to bring back his wife who had been dissolved. Wait, we can try to dissolve her.
it has been established that all Fontainians can dissolve in water from the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court.
It's like Ace Attorney.
Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I swear this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago.
I see 6 Navia.
Taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends.
No,
Miss
the
Farina,
guards!
would you dare to touch some of this seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching this seawater would have no effect on you.
Her eyes. She knows.
All it's to do is
She
strengthen your
knows.
case.
Her eyes are tilting. Her eyes are tilting.
But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
Ooh!
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontainian like all the rest of us. Would she really dare to try?
She's doing it! She's gonna do it! Oh, fish. I'm scared.
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess the right to decline participation.
Oh no. I'm scared.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word.
Oh my gosh! Oh my
It
gosh.
does seem like she's quite terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... That's not what we thought she would...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
Hey!
I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! My hand is still here! I haven't been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your archon. I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water. Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Why were you scared?
If you are present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siegewin? Don't be nervous. It'll just take a few seconds. Let me see. That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation to the court, Miss Siegewin.
She's a nurse.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Thank you, Miss Siegewin.
Oh my gosh!
Lady Farina, you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh wait, what did she just say? I didn't get dissolved. Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness.
Oh, safety first.
Oh my gosh, I thought they would really
that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
That's so smart, bro.
Listen to me, everyone. Please don't give me... Think about it. Also, if I was really just...
You look kind of... Oh my, everyone's shaking them heads. Oh no. Oh no.
Please, everyone.
Oh my.
Anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your archon.
Oh no.
Noodlet is dying.
Oh no. He's not... What the... She gave up on life.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think...
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
Oh, cool. Adi?
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. Is too stacked against her now.
Why are there glitch effects everywhere? What's going on? What?
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is...
Oh my god.
guilty.
Oh my god.
We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina
just like
is...
how they pronounce it.
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
What do you mean you like how they pronounce it?
It's just the way they pronounce that thing. It's just so...
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty to be punished via the death sentence.
What? Oh my gosh!
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court.
And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist. Oh my
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth. How did things escalate this quickly?
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Vacher wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice. You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial disappearances case.
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
She's Hydro Archon, but she's not Hydro Archon? Cutscene?
Excuse me, if I may interrupt.
Fremine?
Is the trial still going?
Fremine! You finally made it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said something. Oh, what?
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a long time to get around some dangerous stretches of water, but has the trial already concluded? Then, doesn't that mean I've come too late? Oh no. Father will be disappointed in
Why are
me.
you so quiet when you're like, he's shy, let him read?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow me to review the record left on the slate.
I think we're gonna find out something.
Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. We'd like you to come here and...
Okay, we go down and check the slate.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
I believe I've now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime.
Huh?
It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait, no, that's Farina, and we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon we've been kinda talking?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Oh, okay. Yep, I know.
The first stone slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans.
Okay.
Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
Maybe that's why they dissolve.
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the original sin and the Hydro Archon sin are the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontainians have been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on.
Wait, that just happened.
We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if.
Wait, did that happen just now? Wait a second. Okay. What? There's a...
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved in primordial seawater. But this might be the reason that Fontanians can dissolve.
That's not relevant. I'm sorry, child. Your case is not relevant right now. Okay. That's not
That doesn't...
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervilette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
Child. I'm sorry, child.
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment.
Yeah.
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontanians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true if...
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an Ocean. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin.
This is hitting my brain.
Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what.
You better be
The
ready for
stone
the
slate's
fight
content can all
What do
be
you mean,
verified
normal
by
fight?
recent events. Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelation.
Let's hear them.
Incredible. We're not real humans.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how and according to Navia, when she...
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably anchored. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate? In the end, the people will all be... Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. However, while you were able to decode all the information when we were at the root, now that the slate collection is complete, I shall... I believe I should share this truth not only with you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of... In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race, and thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea.
Exodus.
That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing.
Yeah, I would have done the same.
Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct. A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of Trials and Justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is
Right now!
that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
Oh my god!
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
Oh my gosh!
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
I think it's already fulfilled. Farina's already crying.
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions about the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meropide served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could... As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
Could it be what? What was it could it be? What is the truth?
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
Wait a minute. Narwhal fight? Oh wait.
What's the narwhal fight?
Wait.
I'm looking at the comments.
The whale is
ready for the
dream
narwhal fight, Audrey.
and reality.
Oh, child gave us good information actually.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
The narwhal.
What? Wait, we're gonna fight that thing? wait a minute! Adi? Wait, what? Oh my god! It's the narwhal! Holy fish! Nicolette, get it away from the OSD! Get away from us! Get it away from us! Nicolette! No, I think there's gonna be a boss fight. Nicolette, save our souls! Nicolette! Wait, child? What? That's his power. Okay. He's back! I've been looking for you! What happened? You just disappeared! Yo! They're working together now! We just killed that thing. Child? It's retreating. Child, you okay? Child? He is helping us. He fishing faints! Bro!
Oh, into the void! Oh.
The abyss? Bro, come back! Child, come back! Come back, child!
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the opera house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
I wager that that's also the one that Child saw when he was young.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Ocean...
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontainians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Right? Food in the form of Fontainians.
It gobbles them up?
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner.
Child doesn't cause trouble for once, thank goodness.
From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
What?
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the primordials, even if the entirety of
That's not... We've already done everything we've come so...
Indeed. That's...
I'll fight it to the end.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
Let's do this. Wait, what's with that?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled.
Who's this?
You may view such things as the history of the future.
Who's this? Oh wait, yeah, that was Teacup Woman. Okay.
Just as prophecies are usually only the... Ultimately...
Oh, Adi? Adi? Something's going on.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
What? How are they gonna kill her?
Farina!
Farina!
Farina! No, I still need answers.
Whoa, super jumping! Magic tears? Nivelette? Huh? Who dat?
What's going on? What just happened?
What just happened? Fossalor? Ate?
What is that?
Farina 2.0?
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment.
Real Fossalor?
Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Fossalor. You know, the god.
Fossalor? Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria for the uninitiated.
Wait.
It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe. Now does it?
Okay, I need to get my earphone. Wait.
Call me.
Wait a minute. Okay.
She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreamed. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this. Anymore.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit. leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind, but in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principle. Do you still remember the final scene of the In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invite under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only... Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no... I cannot begin to
It has indeed. And although she is innocent, it's been 500... And all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage? All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontainians are upon me. I'm... Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
We'll see about that.
Bow your head.
Settle down! The tides beckon.
Bow your head.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards! Wait, where are the guards? Guards! Be amazed!
Silence! Be sanctified.
Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're near me? How can this be?
Near
me.
The prophecy.
What prophecy? The people will all be...
Oh.
What's going on? But doesn't that mean everyone will die?
Oh, don't worry. I will tell you how...
As for... But if there were...
I suppose this would... Don't worry. It...
Play as...
That's right. If you can keep it...
But how will I do this?
Don't worry. Being a human yourself, remember...
So, how...
To a combat.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it. The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, in truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions that...
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character. Oh, there now. I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house. Would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
it seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech. My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor, for we have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be walked. The scales of just may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine. There is no trouble so long as
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a...
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House? Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so
A magnificent, dramatic, and what?
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to...
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank. All right.
He's doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for...
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to... All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass. Forget it. That's not something you need to worry. Really?
I'm afraid...
Is that... The day is finally over, but it's good to see that everything's getting on track. Maybe this is fine. All right.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial report.
There'll be no need for that.
Lady Farina, I've...
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant...
Understood. Keep monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up. I feel utterly...
Lady Farina, I've heard that the first member of our...
And what a fine family yours is indeed.
It brings me great joy to meet such a faithful believer. A descendant... What is it, good citizen?
Are you crying?
Really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the...
No wonder. No wonder.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps the show must go on for hundreds more. I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I want to tell someone, anyone, I've conducted so. All I can do is keep heart. I must.
Farina, you don't have to although I don't know what you might be keeping.
Share, my bird. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, just share it with
a witness. And if to that is in its she's right. But if things don't play out as... No, Farina. You should... But what if... Farina, is it such an outrage if you let this up? Think about it. Long and hard. No, I have nothing. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my...
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter, it seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works. But that is only... How would you build on this foundation to save the people of
Good, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the oratory...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Linny did mention that he heard a... It now seems that that person was...
And then I became one with the oratories, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes... It would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding... In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the I mean... Did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the oratories. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence.
It was all part of your plan, then? both the trial and the sentence.
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. But only power of this magnitude could hope to—
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor, but for the destruction of that divine throne.
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro... Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout...
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my rights, Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principle stole the power you ain't. I, for my part, and speaking of justice, I have always believed that so, if the theft of the primordial sea, then, leaving, in other words, defying the, at this point, Iudex Nerville.
So when at last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalor. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervalette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
500 years? Music.
Iudex Nervalette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of mystery?
But since...
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that... I have gained the strengths of... We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratory's the root of the... Come with me, Traveler. The hour of execution has come. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power. We shall look for an opening together.
We'll see about that.
Sorrow turning into hostility.
You're up! We'll see about that.
The all-devouring Null cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility. Present itself. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within. Silence! Let the mighty be humbled! Settle down! Silence!
Have fun with this gift! You're up!
Bow your head.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but... oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime. Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master. Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than pet sitting. The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk?
The point being...
well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well...
oh, right. So you don't know... His name is Sertologi.
Huh?
I am unfamiliar with that name.
Huh. So Master is insufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary? Vetterfulnir then? Or Gold Rhindaughter?
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rhindaughter's part of the Hexen...
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know them either. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rhindaughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the... As such, the fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in...
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Hey! Help! Over here!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue!
is receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong!
Are you alright?
Yeah.
We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. Old soil can still skyship winglet. Booner, the various dispute people always call. Wow, Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier?
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big scoop Edwin's assistant, Jurier.
Paimon's curious too.
And that's Oh, this time we'll... Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having a...
I'm here to update myself on how things are going. Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and is helping with our work. Our residents are hard at...
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours, but if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not...
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible.
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying down the construction materials.
Huh?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait, just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me? Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake. Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the...
How did it go? Was it a good shot?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually... Wow, you really do have the...
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of...
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess.
That's a...
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress... I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee.
You're right. I've got a treasure. Stay safe now. And tell...
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a realness.
Looks like you've been missing it.
Phew! Did you?
Of course. I'm here.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored...
No need to thank me.
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so Miss Charlotte.
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her.
Sir, please don't say things like...
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it.
No, I just...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be the boat that brought about a miracle. Still, if I might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory. I'm afraid it won't be...
Really? Well...
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to...
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Sure.
Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the front?
Same old, as you can see.
Other than that flying ship.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes heroes.
You're too kind, sir.
I see. Lots of things.
He sure did win.
I'll tell them that there's good news.
Oh.
What change can there be? As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave...
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it...
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story up... All right, last stop, the docks. Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you.
Trick a friend? I wouldn't...
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make...
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact?
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic ship.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with a...
Lynette, could you come...
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler? Father says that...
That's all right. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you have... After Lady Farina left.
A diplomatic gift?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the... Furthermore, Father did also lend significant... I would agree, but I've also... I suspect you'll have to ask him about that...
But back to the topic.
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds. I hear that the recent disaster really did a number on his health.
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know?
Are you going to take the notes?
That is our duty as... Don't be too preoccupied with switching my masks. Is something Well, that depends on many things. No one true... As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision.
And that's a wrap for me.
Huh? Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I would...
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable. Farewell.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon.
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this must... All right, then.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off. Shall we go see what Neverlette's doing? As long as he's not so busy that he doesn't have time to chat anyone.
on up.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there! So, you really are here, Neverlet! Kinda didn't think you were going to have free time.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. In any case, you came at a good...
Aw, Pirate's glad. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually...
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in them.
So that's what happened? Fossilor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Ark, but Paimon still doesn't quite get what you...
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute... Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordials, but so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood, after the fashion in which life was first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans. and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from the primordial sea.
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear to have come true, while, yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor...
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened the all-devouring narwhal. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the Oratrice, whether it was due to that liability by association, or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally... hang on a second. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed?
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall...
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the water...
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah, about that. Ryzen...
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired and needed to rest. Having said that, she then...
but...
You need not worry. In truth, I am somewhat happy for... But now that she no longer...
What about you then?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice... This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on...
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective...
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power, and this duty... In a manner of speaking, you could say that both, as such, before I attend to my other responsibilities. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
That's true. That power was derived from the people... Wait, but the various mechs and machines in the city are all still okay...
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason.
Wow. This ancient dragon...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, that's right!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done their sole remaining goal in Fontaine. At least, the Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more, and I do not need the Gnosis's power. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs...
What complicates...
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume. I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with humanity. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer. Seriously, everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing!
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Hang on a sec. Paimon's still got a question. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that we guessed that there might be some reason for...
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intel. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share some. In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what...
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here. I can finally catch the scent of your power. What it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. It's quite a novel blend. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
Remains? I've never heard of it.
Huh. According to your parlance.
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that...
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young. And I have never returned to the surface since. So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess it. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies...
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you refer to, who are they? And when did they die?
Master never mentioned them to me. If you're interested, though, I could ask.
Next time.
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I? He can be the messenger, then.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not.
The remains of the... So that's what the Gnosis actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it. Which...
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting I had guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not that means that the Gnosis, which are exceedingly element compatible and can I wonder.
Like being able to use elemental powers without a vision! That does sort of count as special compatibility, right? No, let's not think about comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all. That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck! Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when in...
Alright, whatever.
Yes. All...
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all...
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will. I suspect not. But once in a while I too would guess that if life flows like... And what ultimately is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us? It seems from your expressions that you still have more. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I suggest that you fully...